Hi YouTube, Dawn here. I wanted to tell you something that I have learned about contact juggling that greatly improves our form. Breathing. Now, this has been incredible to watch with my coaching clients and even with my own Instagram. I do this before I practice on a large scale, and I also do a small version of it before I start any sequence. So, the beginnings of it is this. We scan our body. We scan our body for posture errors and for sort of wiggliness and our ability to use the fewest muscles possible while we are standing. First, we look at our feet. I think about my toes. I think about the palms and soles of my feet and how they're touching the ground. Right now, mine are a bit cold. It's starting to be winter here. I think about the tops of my toes and my ankles and how they sit in relation to the floor. If they're stiff or if they're relaxed, if my feet are sort of inturned or not. Ideally, I want to sort of have them a hips width apart and be standing with them toes forward. After I think about my feet, I think about my heels and the backs of them, the ankles, the tops of my feet, and how they're connected to the calves in the back and how those muscles are, and if those muscles are engaged or loose, and also that front tibia. Think about my knees, how they're attached to that, and how they stack on the ankles, if they're over top of my ankles well or not. It also depends on how well my hips are rotated in the balls of these joints. If I rotate my hips, I have to actually readjust and go back down to my feet and see again if I've tucked my hips in properly and my pelvis is forward. I go back down to my feet and feel them. And now my ankles and my knees and my hips are stacked better on top of each other. Breathing into that gives me some looseness and some groundedness to my work. It also helps me engage my core when I turn these balls in. It makes it more natural and that I don't have to just sort of hold it like this. And no one ever explained that to me before, and I found this really exciting. From there, I start to go up. So this is all grounding down, 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 down into the ground, and this is all pulling me up. So everything from here onwards, from that belly button, starts to split, and I start to concentrate on going up, and I start to think about this area here in my back, whether or not it's sort of like scrunched over in any way, or if I'm going to stack it naturally on top of everything else. I think about my shoulders, putting them into my pockets, as my friend Lisa says. I think about my head, how it's rotating. Throughout this, I should be breathing, and now at this moment I'm talking to you, so it's difficult to do both at the same time. But ideally, I'd be breathing throughout this exercise, sort of in and out of my body, to sort of feel how that feels, and letting go of anything that I don't need to hold on to in this moment. Just preparing my body to be ready for juggling. I also open this area up. A lot of contact jugglers are over here, and we tend to roll our shoulders like this, and we have our chest collapsed in on itself. And I really want you to pull that back. Now, putting your shoulders in your pocket should help with that, but ideally, you're thinking about letting this go, making sure all of this is sort of down, while your body and your head and your spine are bringing you up. Think about relaxing your jaw and your tongue. That should help with your face and the top of your head. And then that string that pulls you up, woo, so that you have a good posture. Now after that, I would walk around the room and consider how my walking affects all of these things and what happens every time I take a step and what happens every time I move and juggle. Now, with a ball, I don't want to go through this exercise every single time, but if I have this ritual embedded in my practice at the beginning of every session, then I can just do sort of a quick scan before I'm about to do anything else. So if I'm about to do a chest roll, I often will get into my position, then take a breath. See how I've adjusted it? See how I readjusted everything there? Then, stepping into it, I have a clearer, more slow form. I'm definitely more intentional. I highly recommend that you breathe into your body, really connect to the ground, really connect to yourself before even touching a ball, before every practice. Let me know what you think about that and give me a comment.